Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Joe's Two Cents. I am Joe, and let's talk about some BMWs. I am a car guy. I have quite a few in my collection. I'm a single guy, so I keep my toy chest full. So let's talk about some BMWs. First of all, BMWs are great cars. I've owned two so far. My first one was a 540, and my second was a 528. And they're both cars. They're phenomenal cars. They're drive cars. But there's some issues that I want to discuss when it comes to BMWs. First off, you can actually use this information. Come to think of it, to actually get some good deals on pre-driven BMWs, because a lot of this stuff will not count towards new vehicles. Now, first of all. Again, I said before, they're phenomenal cars, but BMW have some issues. So the first one is they make too many cars. They make so many cars, they're literally competing against itself as a company, as a brand. Because, for example, you have a BMW 1 Series, a 2 Series, a 3 Series, a 4 Series, a 5 Series, a 6 Series, and a 7 Series. And some years back, and you probably can find them out there, they had some 8 Series. On top of that, you have the M Series. You have the M1, you have the M2, you have the M3, you have the M4, you have the M5, you have the M6. And depending on what years, how far you want to go back, they had some M7s. If that wasn't enough, now they have the X series. You have the X3, you have the X4, you have the X5 series, you have the X6 series, and now they just introduced the X7 series. And then on top of that, you have the MX. You have the MX series, so you have the sports car version of the X series. It's just so many. They have way too many cars to where they're competing against themselves. And once these cars come back in the secondary market where you have them used, it's just too many. The supply outweighs the demand, which drives the price down, which is one of the reasons why BMWs depreciate the way they do. The next problem that I want to discuss is when it comes to how BMW makes their cars, and what really annoys me to no end. BMW, they make a lot of their key components for the engine parts. They make them out of plastic. Why would you? Okay, BMW is a performance car. One thing you have to keep in mind, anytime you have a performance car, which means that the extra performance produces extra heat, and over time the extra heat means extra wear and tear on the engine parts. And when you make these parts out of plastic, over time, and it's not a long time either, they don't last that long. The extra heat, it makes that plastic parts on there just brittle to a point where they break. And then once they break, to the average person that just drives a car and they don't really know about cars, these plastic parts, they fail, and then they're in places that are hard to get to, and then it causes other problems. One problem leads to another, and that's why you have these. One of the reasons why you have a high repair bill. Next thing is BMWs. They are overpriced. There are a lot of markups in the beginning when you buy the car that makes the car overpriced, and then once you drive off the lot, a lot of those reasons go away with the car, which means that as soon as you drive off, your car just lost at least 20% of the price that you paid for it the moment it is titled and you drive it off the lot. So you're immediately upside down on the vehicle. So yeah, it's got quite a few things that you have to consider when you're buying a BMW. Now, also, last thing I want to talk about is repairs. If you buy a BMW and you decided to keep it past its warranty, go into your local cities, any municipalities. There are repair shops that specialize in foreign cars. Now, I live here in Chicago. That I have at least one guy there on the south side, and he especially deals with nothing but European cars. Anytime I have problems with my BMW, I take it to him. I do not, under any circumstances, take it back to the dealer because they're going to rip you. You know, most places that I go to, they're going to charge you $100 per issue that you bringing in. That's ridiculous. You're gonna charge me if I have 5 things wrong with the car. That's $500 each. Total for you to look at each of those things, and their thing is, well, if you get it fixed through us, then we won't charge you $100. Oh, okay. So no, I take it to my guy. He looks at it. He tells me what's wrong with it, and he tells me, and he gives me a really good, reasonable price for fixing it, and he does quality work. So I suggest any of y'all who are going to get a BMW and keep it in your possession past the warranty, to find those places, because I do not recommend you take the car back to the dealer for repairs. All right, so basically that's it. What I want to talk about with BMWs now. Hopefully this doesn't discourage you from buying one, but this is just information to arm you with what you're going to be faced with if you decided to buy a car like such as BMW specifically. If you would, if you help me out, please like and subscribe to my channel. I promise that I'll start posting more. Also hit the notification. There's a little bell right there on the lower right hand side. That will help me out a lot. All right, have a good one.